In the walls. Ethan had always loved the quiet of his family's old farmhouse. Set far from the nearest town, surrounded by dense woods and endless fields, it was the perfect place for a young boy to explore. But as the days grew shorter, something about the house began to feel wrong. It started with a whisper. Late one night, as Ethan lay in bed, he heard it. Faint at first, like a soft breeze passing through a crack in the wall. He sat up, straining to listen. It sounded like someone was saying his name, just barely above a murmur. Ethan, he shook his head, pulling the covers up. His parents often warned him about the old house, how the wind could make strange noises, how the pipes groaned at night. But this was different. The next night, the whisper returned. This time, it was clearer. Ethan, come. He bolted out of bed, heart pounding, and ran down the hall to his parents' room. But they didn't believe him. They laughed it off, saying the house was just settling. It's an old place, Ethan. Houses like this make noises. But Ethan knew better. Each night, the whisper grew louder, more insistent. It wasn't just a voice anymore. It was as if the house was alive, breathing around him. The walls creaked, and shadows seemed to stretch farther than they should. The voice wasn't just calling to him. It was watching him. One evening, after days of restless nights, Ethan decided to confront the whisper. Armed with only a flashlight, he crept out of bed and followed the sound. It led him down into the basement, a place he rarely ventured with its musty smell and damp stone walls. As he descended the stairs, the whisper grew louder, more urgent. Ethan, down here. His hand shook as he pushed open the old wooden door. The flashlight beam trembled, casting eerie shadows against the walls. The basement was colder than he remembered, and the air was thick with the smell of mildew and something else, something foul. In the far corner, behind a pile of old furniture and forgotten boxes, Ethan noticed something strange. The wall looked different. There was a small, jagged crack running down the center, as if the house had been split open. The whisper was coming from inside the wall. Ethan, let me out. Trembling, Ethan reached out, brushing his fingers against the crack. The wall felt colder than ice, as if something on the other side was drawing the warmth from his skin. He wanted to run, but the voice, it was so close now, so desperate. He pressed his ear against the wall. Help me, Ethan, the voice pleaded. I'm trapped. Ethan stepped back, heart racing. He had heard stories about the house, old tales his grandparents used to tell about the man who built it. They said he disappeared, vanished without a trace, and that his spirit never left. Let me out. The voice begged again, weaker now, almost pitiful. Without thinking, Ethan grabbed a hammer from a nearby shelf. He swung it against the crack in the wall. Once, twice. On the third hit, the wall crumbled, revealing a small, dark cavity behind it. Inside, staring back at him with hollow, sunken eyes, was the twisted, decaying figure of a man. His mouth, frozen in a silent scream, gaped wide as if he had been trying to claw his way out for years. And then the whisper returned, right behind him. Ethan, now you're mine. The basement door slammed shut, and Ethan was never seen again,